Hi guys, Mrnewmobile here. Apple iPad mini 6 release date, price, and specs. Please subscribe followed by the bell. You can also keep up on Facebook, Twitter by clicking the links in the description. A new model in Apple's burgeoning iPad product stack is set to arrive in the second half of 2021. According to a new report, apparently, the device will be called the iPad mini Pro, which would position it somewhere between iPad mini 6 and the iPad Air 4 according to a report from South Korea. Apple is planning to release a Pro version of the iPad mini, while Apple is expected to announce an iPad mini 6 this month alongside new iPad Pro models. The supposed iPad mini Pro will not arrive until the second half of 2021. The report adds that the device has already passed the R&D and product planning stages of development, meaning that it has cleared its initial hurdles on the way to market. Apparently, Apple will soon commence design validation tests, DVT. Subsequently, Apple would submit the iPad mini Pro for production validation tests, PVT, before mass-producing it. Presumably, the iPad mini Pro would look like the iPad mini 6, which is rumored to feature a 9.15-inch display. The report about the iPad mini Pro mentions it having an 8.7-inch display though, which would be odd. Typically, Apple's iPad Pro tablets have had larger displays than its regular models. However, the iPhone 11 Pro did have a 0.3-inch smaller display than the iPhone 11, so a similar difference could exist between the iPad mini Pro and the iPad mini 6. Ultimately, we are yet to see any reliable insiders mention the iPad mini Pro, so we would take this information as a rumor for the time being. We are also unsure where a Pro version of the iPad mini would sit in Apple's product stack. A $200 difference exists between the iPad mini and iPad Air, so an iPad mini Pro would probably eat into this price gap. However, this arrangement would leave Apple with a Pro product that costs less than an Air one, which would be strange. If the iPad mini Pro is to arrive in the second half of 2021, then we should hear more about it within the next few months. The iPad mini 6 will feature an A13 processor, which makes sense as an upgrade from the A12 Bionic chips in the iPad mini 5. That post also notes the iPad mini 6 will continue the use of the Lightning port. This connector has been something of a contentious point among Apple rumors as of late. There's a lot of speculation Apple will kill the port off altogether in the iPhone 13, while the iPad Pro got the universal USB-C port. So there's a lot of folks out there thirstily speculating that the iPad mini 6 could gain a design that looks more like the new iPad Pro than the iPad, with slimmer bezels and no home button. There's no reason to see those thoughts as anything beyond wishing upon a star. This 8.5-inch iPad mini doesn't sound like a device that will undergo a radical transformation. Just look at how the 9.7-inch iPad became the 10.2-inch iPad. The chassis just got a little larger. It's not hard to see why people want the iPad Pro's design for the iPad mini. It even opens the tablet up to supporting the magnetically docking second-gen iPad Pencil, which is much better than the first-gen Pencil. These early iPad mini 6 leaks suggest that Apple's not resting on last year's update and is looking to make the next iPad mini at least an evolution of the product. If in fact we see a mini LED iPad mini 6, the tablet would feel like a revolution over the previous edition, which was pretty good to begin with. But as long as we get a bigger screen that doesn't make the iPad mini much bigger, it's still the mini model after all. Along with a performance boost, the iPad mini 6 will be a worthy successor. Apple released new iPad Pro models, and they come with an assortment of enticing upgrades. The company's 2018 iPad Pro models are also excellent, and they're also much cheaper than they once were. You should also check out the new iPad Air 4, new 8th generation iPad, 10.2-inch iPad, 2019 iPad Air, and the iPad mini 5. We've seen some significant price cuts on the latter three, and they're worth a look if you're interested in buying a new tablet. You might have heard that Apple might be cooking up additional iPads. The list reportedly includes a high-end iPad Pro and a new iPad mini 6. Apple is planning to launch a brand new iPad mini. He initially thought the device would arrive before the end of 2020, but that's changed. Apple hardware with mini LED technology, the same tech that's supposedly on board the iPad mini 6, will arrive in 2021. The analyst claims a new version of the iPad mini should launch sometime in the first half of 2021. LG is set to supply Apple with the mini LED displays for new iPads. That Apple will release a new iPad mini Pro in the fall. The sketchy rumor claims the device will have an 8.7-inch display. One leaker believes Apple won't launch a new iPad mini in 2021, so the release is up in the air at this point. With new iPads on the way, that puts those of you in the market for one in a tough position. Should you buy a new iPad now or wait and see what Apple's got up its sleeve? We don't have a definitive iPad mini 6 release date, but there's a chance it arrives in March. Alongside a new iPad Pro, all of the information we've seen points to a launch in 2021, though there's also a possibility a new iPad mini gets pushed into 2022. So, as of right now, the best case scenario is a launch during Apple's March launch window. And while there's no guarantee that happens, those of you interested in a new iPad mini might want to hang around and wait for Apple's to make its announcements. We don't have a date yet, but if Apple is planning to showcase new products in March, we should get one in the near future. That is, guys, what features would you like to see in newest iPad mini 6? Let me see your comment below, and if you are new here, please subscribe, like the video, comment. Thanks for watching. See you on my next video. Peace out.